Alright, so here's what we got this morning. Let's prep for some V-bands. Okay, so there's tons of videos out, I'm sure, on how to do this, so I don't need to teach y'all how to do this. I just want to show y'all real fast how me and Mike are going to do this one, because this is a bit of a unique situation on this side. On our throttle body here, it works out perfect. You know, this is your V-band goes together like this, just in case anybody don't know. You get two O-rings right here. I don't think it matters which side you weld to the piece. I'm going to weld this side to the piece, not the side with the O-rings, because my theory is that if this ever gets gouged right here, well, I guess it don't. Well, yeah, if it ever gets gouged in these O-rings and you have to replace this piece, it's cheaper to replace a pipe that this is going to be welded to than it is to have to cut it off the throttle and redo it. So I'm going to keep the smooth piece on the part, the more expensive side. That's just my theory. And yeah, that's literally like on the inside, it's like the same. I mean, within a 16th or less, okay? But the outside, you've got this little groove right here, okay? But if you got rid of that groove, it'd be the same size. So what we're gonna do is get rid of this groove. We've got to clean it up for paint anyway, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to clean the paint out of this little groove right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grind this groove off and grind the powder coating off to like here. That way Mike can get a clean weld all the way around it. So that side's gonna be nice and simple. We're gonna prep that out and go from there. This is a Holley Sniper throttle body. The Procharger. Now here's the tricky side. It's smaller than our V-band. Now we went ahead and stepped our V-band up to 3.5. So basically the whole system is 3.5 inch pipes, 3.5 into the intercooler, 3.5 out intercooler, 3.5 into the throttle body. So everything is the same. So the only thing we have to step up is this one. And by doing this, if I went with a bigger Procharger, anytime, the whole system at least is already a little bit bigger than this size is how I was looking at it. So obviously that's not going to fit. Okay, so this piping is bigger than the Procharger outlet. And when I messaged TKM, I actually talked to Kevin directly and got the advice to get rid of my other piping. He said to do 3.5 if I can on the inlet and the outlet side. I know some of y'all saying do, I think it's smaller on the hot side, bigger on the cold side, or vice versa. I can't remember in the comments. There was one comment section, the comment that we were talking about that. But this is what TKM told me to do. TKM built the motor. TKM's tuning the car. I'm going to listen to TKM on this one, especially Kevin, because I trust what he has to say. So it just happens to work out that the pieces we cut off of our intercooler yesterday, okay, these end caps, they are literally the same size as our Procharger, pretty much. They are maybe, again, half of a 16th, so what would that be, a 32nds? Smaller, but I mean, it's questionable. You can just barely feel it with your finger. So what a lot of people would do is, if they were going to step this down, they would throw this piece in there like that, get it sit in there, and then probably just butt weld that straight to that, and it would look like crap. But I told Mike that my biggest concern is when you pop the hood, I don't want this to look like crap. So we are going to use this to step it down. This is offset, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it more this way, because if you remember on my car, I have the intake basically here, and I need to get the piping to come like this. Okay, I need to get the piping more over to this side. So we're going to go ahead and weld this where it offsets it kind of that way anyway. Another reason why I decided to use this piece is because it's kind of like a bell mouth where it has the rolled edges on it already. So it's just, perfect piece. It's nice and thick. We have it laying around. A little bit of shaping and cleaning up and shrinking it, and it'll work perfect. So all I gotta do is clean it up so that it fits in here nice and neat, and then we're gonna cut it back to probably about right here. That way you don't have all this crap on top of each other. And Mike said when he gets around to this shorter side that he'll actually probably be able to roll this weld all the way into this weld and make it look like one big fat weld all the way around. So let's get this cut up and I'll show y'all what we got. All right, so here's what we got. Ed cleaned all this up. I just sat over there in the corner and did nothing. You do all this, Ed?
Yeah.
He did everything. Here's our little adapter piece. Mikey gonna have to lay the beads on it to make her look good, but that's what she looks like. So she fits up in there nice and amazing. There's a little bit of gap over here, but he'll be able to easily fill that in. That's just the way the piece was made. It had to be grinded, and then that's it from the inside. So like I said, I'm in favor of how this has the bell mouth roll to edge. So that's gonna work perfect. So this piece will be in here like this, and then it will just go on there like that. Voila. Voila magic. So Mike will get all that welded up, and then that'll be done. That worked out amazing. And then this one over here, like I said, was nice and simple. Went ahead and grinded all the paint off for Mike, and that one's pretty much the same size. So that one's gonna be nice and easy to weld up too. And then, you know, your other piece will go right into there, and then your clamp will go around it. So that's that. That's done my side. Now it's just got to wait for Mike to weld it, and then we'll get it back to the house this afternoon. The old FedEx guy just brought us a package. I think this is all for Ed. It's got my name on it, but I think it's for Ed's truck. Ed about to build that twin turbo single cab Silvernado Tornado. Let's see what we got. Got some bubble wrap. Man, we got all kinds of bubble wrap. What is all this crap down in here, Ed? This other box. The Children of St. Drume, they need your support. Here. Oh, you want $100? Hold on, Cletus. Man. All right, Skinny, which one of y'all packaged this thing? Y'all sent me enough air. That's probably, I probably paid for all this air too, didn't I? Yeah, it sent me a whole box of goodies, man. What is these? These are probably the injector harness.
I don't know what that is.
See, now I don't even know where to plug all this stuff in at. See, now I gotta figure out how to plug it all in. Does it say? Oh. What am I gonna do with all this stuff, man? I don't even know how to operate this crap. Map sensor. TKM is on point, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie though. I paid for this yesterday and it's here today. Every single time I order from TKM, it's like pretty much overnighted.
Your AFR part sensor?
So if y'all do want to do business with a company that ships fast, I definitely highly recommend TKM. I'm not gonna open all this stuff right now. That must be the main harness, probably.
Main power harness.
This is the main power harness. Man, TKM ain't boxed that, but that's a lot of box, wasted box for just a power harness. So they just threw it in their other box. And this must be the main engine harness. Yep. Huh. Fun stuff, guys. Looks like we can start laying out some wiring, man. This is kind of exciting, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. It's kind of exciting. So we'll chunk all this back in the box and get this home tonight. And it looks like we literally have our hands full with this car right now. All right, so just got to the house, and as you've seen, you know, oops, we got the box in from TKM. We opened it earlier. It's full of goodies. So check this out. This is one thing that I told Mike earlier, and I actually just told the wife. Technically, I pretty much have everything needed to fire this car off. That's kind of crazy, man. This thing has sat and been in this garage for 3-4 years. I think 4 years this thing has been in this garage. 3 years, I think this thing has been in this garage. I've been working on this thing for, I think I'm 2.5 years working on this thing right now. It's been in here for 3 years, if not 3.5 years. It's been in this garage. I mean, it's been in and out, rolled in and out on the trailer a couple times, stuff like that. But when I bought this thing, it was puke green. I have pictures of it on my Facebook. Bone stock, barely ran, had an inline six, and I drove it. I think I drove it. Actually, my employee might have drove it. I might have never even drove this car. Either me or my employee. I think it was my employee, honestly. Drove it on the trailer to bring it home when I originally got it in. And I've never drove this car. I've never heard this. I mean, obviously in a new plant, I've never even heard it run, obviously. So pretty crazy. The big things that we're missing to actually fire the car off for 20 seconds or something is fuel pressure regulator. That is the only thing that I'm missing from actually firing the car off, besides putting everything together, which is a lot of work within itself. To actually have the car run, fuel pressure regulator and headers, because it would be open headers just straight out the block, but you can fire it off for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. But yeah, then we need the secondary fuel pump, which would be under boost only, so I don't even need that. I could cap that. Torque converter, can't go nowhere until we have a torque converter, can't go nowhere until we order the rear yoke, can't go nowhere until we get a drive shaft. So that's the things keeping it from going nowhere. Can't bake no boost until we purchase the Procharger pulleys. We could crank the car without them, but ain't gonna do nothing without the Procharger pulleys. Can't actually drive the car until we get radiator hoses, plus everything I just said. So we still got a little ways to go. Yeah, y'all, I told y'all in the other video that I'm going to try to get this ball on the road. I'm now ahead of schedule. Besides that, my garage looks like a mess and this car is tore all apart. I still have a long ways to go, wiring and all that, but it's kind of like I can feel it within grasp now, like it's right there. So I'm gonna get at it. I'm gonna put the Procharger back on, put the throttle body back on, and hopefully start cutting up some pipes tonight. I done warned the wife. Harper just laid down. I told her it is what it is. I've got to do some cutting in the garage. It kind of echoes in here. Harper's kind of a heavy sleeper. I don't think it's going to bother her, but I'm going to try to make some progress on cutting up the pipes tonight. That way, hopefully, I can take them to the shop. Maybe Mike can get a couple tack welds tomorrow, and we can start the process of back and forth. Once I get the pipes, mocked up, I can start moving on to wiring the front body harness is what I want to do first, I think. And then I can also start at some point unboxing the all the TKM Holley stuff and start actually laying the engine harness in place and start plugging, the couple sensors I've got in and start, double checking my list of sensors I need to order. So let me get at it and I'll get back up with y'all. All right, so through the Procharger back in and the throttle body back in, I had this on here because I was really about to go for it, y'all. And I was really going to take this pipe right here and come up over the throttle body and into that one because I just felt like it was smooth airflow. It's just, I don't know. I can't do it because I just feel it's just right here in your eyes when you pop the hood. I mean, yeah, I get it. And it would take a bunch of pie cuts to get the angle to get it kind of kicked into there. But then when you get to this one, to go to that one, you still have to do a real sharp 90. So yeah, you got smooth flow up here, but you still have a 90 there. And I just don't know if the power level that we're talking with this car, if it really matters, if it's really that crucial, like if it's really gonna hurt me that bad, trying to avoid 90s and giving up looks and having a pipe literally like right here, which just makes everything hard to get to on the front without taking it out every time. So I decided against it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna stick to my original plan, and we're gonna kind of 45 this off and 45 down into that. And then we're gonna come out, and 90 this into here and then get it down, into there with another 90. you know, that keeps that right here, and then that kind of goes down. That allows the alternator like right here, you know, fuel lines right here, throttle cable right here, you know, stuff where this line is just kind of out of the way and it's not covering up the top of all this, you know, and technically you could leave this side hooked up and pull, you know, the intake or all that if you needed to. I don't know. That's just the route I'm going to take. I think that's going to be the best in this situation, but I wanted to show y'all one thing real fast. So there's probably a million videos on how to do this, but I don't know if there's ever this. So this kit, when you buy these eBay kits, you know, they come with all kinds of stuff. Obviously, I'm V-band clamping mine, so I only need 2 of the rubber hoses. So to get my line nice and square where I want to cut it, I just took one of these ones that come with it, cut it in half. That allows you to put it on there. You can wrap it around it, and then turn it out like this. You know, you just line it back up. I'm trying to do this one-handed. You know, you basically just line it back up like that and then trace you around it. When I originally did my first one, the smaller pieces down there, I was literally sliding the coupling on and off every time with like grease. It was an absolute nightmare. I didn't think about cutting one. I'm the type of guy that I hate to cut up perfectly good stuff because I'm always like, what if I need it? But with my system, obviously, there's absolutely no silicone couplings, rubber couplings, besides the 2 right here. And I have another one there and another one in the box that ain't been cut, so that's 2 spares. Everything else is gonna be solid in V-band. So I just had to man up and get over myself and stop trying to save everything and just go ahead and cut one. But I figured I would just point that out real fast in case it might help somebody. All right, so mocking up a couple of these. All these cuts are just kind of fit as you go. What I do, which I'm sure a ton of other people do, is, you know, you make your cut, you get it all right, and then I put a Sharpie line and a couple of different points as a reference to make sure it don't move, and then I just put a couple pieces of tape across it really tight so that I can see through it to my marks and make sure it don't move. What Mike can do tomorrow is he can cut diamonds out of the tape and put a tack right there before he untakes it. So it's a good way to mock it up, but I'm sure y'all know more about this than me. This is just how I'm doing it. So what I'm gonna try to do, and I'm new to all this, is I'm gonna try to kill this pipe into this pipe. So what I've done is I have took a straight edge and basically lined it up pretty much, you know, on there like that, where it's, you know, I'm touching the bead roll, but it's about even spacing. And then where it kills into the pipe, you know, I basically took and put a Sharpie mark. So I went around and did, you know, the sides of the pipe I can get that way, you know, on the other side down there. And now I'm gonna take it to the bench and try to see if I can wrap a single piece around there to figure out that angle. And hopefully, I'm hoping that when I add an extension to that, it will be really close to killing in. And if it doesn't kill in perfectly, then it'll just need a little slither, you know. And as I'm trimming stuff up, I'm saving slithers, which Mike is gonna love me for this, but he knows that that's part of it. So what I did was I also cut this piece down, you know, off of your thing. I cut some off of it so that I could go around the radius a little better, because obviously that's too fat to go around inside of a bin. So I just took scissors, cut that long ways, and that will help me wrap around to find my line. So I'm gonna pull this bottom one out, see if I can find that line, see if it looks like it's decent, and then make that cut. And then hopefully I can measure between there and there and get an extension piece. And hopefully that will, it's getting late. I hate doing this cutting down here, but hopefully that will be the hot side, which will be freaking amazing. Take it to the shop tomorrow, have Mike tack it, bring it back home, fit it. And if it fits, then move on to the cold side. So keep your fingers crossed that this works. All right, so that's gonna be for tonight. It's after 10 o'clock and there's no way I'm doing the other side. I've got the hot side mocked up. I'm actually really happy with it. I don't know how I lucked out. That cut that I just made, it needed a little bit of a moon taken out of it, but besides that, it worked freaking like close to perfect. So that's what come out of it. You know, so not much at all, but everything lines up, everything looks good. Let me show you. That's what it looks like. Got everything taped together. All the joints are, I mean, pretty freaking tight. I think Mike might actually be happy with this one. So now all I got to try to do is get this thing out of here without tearing everything up. So get that side undone and gently work this side out. Hopefully not disturb everything. And actually I'll probably leave it alone for tonight and get it out in the morning. And that way, let's put this back under here. I had this under here as a spacer, because what happened last time, I actually took it out the night before and laid it on the kitchen table like flat, and of course it doesn't lay flat, so whatever piece wasn't touching kind of slowly, gravity like twisted it overnight, you know, inside of the tape. So I think I'm actually just leave it like that, and then I'll come out here in the morning, gently take it apart, take it straight to the shop, and sit it up on something where hopefully it doesn't turn, or hopefully Mike will be there first thing in the morning. He could tack it right away before the glue relaxes and it twists. So that's that for tonight. That's the hot side. Hopefully that goes amazing. I think I'm gonna maybe wrap this video up on that one, but yeah, that's the hot side. So like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will catch y'all on the other side.